Hey everybody, Boris here from the Guitar Club. Welcome to the first of a group of lessons I will be uploading on playing chords on the guitar for beginners. The tricky thing about playing chords is placing your fingers on the strings accurately enough to allow each note of the chord to ring out. This is especially challenging for young students with small fingers. I recommend that students practice each chord that they are learning as a broken chord, meaning one note at a time. If you want to master a chord, you must make sure that each note of that chord can ring out freely. This is something all beginner guitar students struggle with. Luckily, by following these steps, practically anybody can learn to play beautiful sounding chords on the guitar. Let's get started. In this lesson, we are going to be playing the C chord. We are going to play the C chord in 3 levels of difficulty. For younger students, it may be necessary to stick to the first level because the smaller your hands, the more difficult it is to play chords. Before we start playing, I want to talk about this, the chord diagram. It is important that you understand how to read these guitar chord diagrams before you start learning how to play chords on the guitar. On the diagram, we have vertical lines that represent the 6 strings of the guitar, and horizontal lines representing the frets. The black dots show you where to place your fingers. The circles at the top tell you that the string must be played open, and the X tells you not to play the string at all. Now, let's start playing. This version of the C chord is played on just the top 3 strings. The first string, the second string, and the third string. To play this version of the C chord, all we have to do is place our first finger on the first fret of the second string. Then we are going to pick each string individually as a broken chord. 2 things are important to focus on here. Firstly, make sure you're applying enough pressure for the second string to ring loud and clear. If you're not pushing hard enough, you're going to get a sound like this. You have to make sure you're pushing hard enough to get the note to sound. Secondly, make sure that you're touching the second string with only your fingertip. See the line on my finger? That's where the string should go. Placing only your fingertip on the string will allow the E string to ring out. If I'm playing the guitar in a sloppy manner, I might be playing with more of the side of my finger, and then the first string will not be able to ring out. Once all 3 strings are ringing nice and clear, you can move on to level 2. This version of the C chord is the same as the last, but we add the second finger on the second fret of the 4th string. Again, make sure only your fingertip is touching the string, or else the 3rd string will be muted by your second finger, and it'll sound something like this. Once you are able to play all 4 notes as a broken chord and each string rings loud and clear, you are ready to move on to the final level of the C chord. This is the version of the C chord that is the most common. To play it, we simply play version 2 and add our 3rd finger. Again, be very careful to only use your fingertips. Otherwise, you will mute the strings and you're going to get a sound like this. Once you are able to play all 5 notes as a broken chord, you can move on to some more chords. I recommend taking this process and applying it to any chord you are trying to learn. For example, here I am applying the same method for the A minor chord. And here I am applying the same method for the G chord. I hope you found this lesson helpful. Try to practice often for short periods of time, and I'll see you next time.